side. If I may, well, I just might hear her whispered in my ear again. I'll take my time and learn to love the road. In the end, I want my worth to be shown, and I'll play for my romance, won't sing a song or dance. Love like I got nothing else to hold. And I've been alone in the belly of the snake swallowed whole. And I've been shown the high road that is gonna lead me back home. Set sail on the sea. They was calling to the shoreline out for me, and they would have had their way, but with my anchor here I'll stay. I'd rather die alone than on my knees. I never known the war damage done, a temptation I see yield to no one. Like a mighty man of steel, I ain't looking for no deal. Set my eyes upon the road and I will run. And I've been alone in the belly of the snake swallowed whole. I've been shown the high road that is gonna lead me back home. No amount of gold, I'll trade my blood. And I won't be bound by thieves in the flood. And I'd rather fall apart than compromise what's in my heart. I'll sleep and know I stuck to my guns. I'll sleep and know I stuck to my guns. And I'll sleep and know I stuck to my guns. I'll sleep and know I stuck to my guns.
Ben, thanks for coming on The Right Note.
My pleasure, thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. And the song we just heard from you was Stuck to My Guns, which I think I've seen you describe as a song of self-affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
What does that song mean to you?
Coming into recording the album, I was at a place where I wasn't sure whether I really wanted to do music at all anymore. And I'd sort of got stuck in trying to fit and fold myself into this sort of box that I thought the industry would have me fit in order to make it or whatever. And I did this song as kind of an affirmation that if I was going to be doing this, I was doing it on my own terms and playing music because I enjoy music, not to make it as such,
Was that what was the process of coming to that realisation?
I had a bit of a mental breakdown and I was done with it. I actually started, like music is my whole life, so records, CDs, posters, all this memorabilia and guitars or whatever, and I'd actually started listing stuff on eBay.
Really?
To get rid of everything because I was just done. I'd wasted so much time, money and energy on this thing, and a couple of months worth passed and I just realised that I couldn't let it go.
Had you sold much stuff by that point?
I'd only just sort of listed it.
Okay.
Someone had said to me, just maybe just think twice before you, which I'm incredibly thankful for. But,
yeah.
So yeah, nothing much. A couple of records, not too much, but yeah, just realised that I couldn't be without it, and then it was just a couple of years of sort of putting it all back together, and yeah.
And how long ago was that then? You said a couple of years, so when do you reckon
that was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was still playing with another band, and it sort of all happened around, a couple of opportunities that we thought were coming our way that didn't eventuate, and yeah.
That was the Delta Lions?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so do you remember the moment that you actually started writing for this album and thought, actually, I'm going to keep going?
I'd written, when I first went to Shane, I'd had 10-ish songs, I think.
Okay.
That I thought for sure was going to be it. And he had said to me, don't stop writing.
Right.
And I thought, oh shit, he doesn't like what I've presented to him here, and took it as a bit of a challenge. And I think there's only one of those 10 songs that ended up making the album.
Okay.
So I'd ended up writing 50-something songs in 3 months or something to...
Wow.
So that was 2017 that most of it was written.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when someone like Shane Nicholson says that to you, someone as accomplished as Shane, is it hard to not take that personally?
Yeah, he's kind of good. He said it in a way that wasn't too discouraging. It was just more of encouragement, I guess. Like, this is real now. Bring your A game, sort of thing, maybe.
Okay.
So it was just a bit of a kick in the arse to make sure there was enough good songs to make a good record. Yeah.
And what else did Shane bring to the album?
Everything.
Oh, come on. Don't sell yourself short.
I'd never really worked with a producer before.
Yeah.
It's always been an engineer and myself or the band directing it. So, and I guess I was still sort of figuring it out at this time. Wasn't so sure exactly what it was or what my sound was or whatever. It seemed to fit in this alt country sort of genre. And yeah, so basically just the production that I took him like a bunch of demoed songs, just raw, with no opinion on how they should sound, and just kind of let him do his thing.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, sonically is definitely all Shane.
Right.
He didn't really edit strong songs that much, but yeah, definitely production is Shane, and I was, I would speak up if I heard anything. Like I would throw ideas at him, and we'd work together. But yeah.
Yeah. Were there any sort of interesting recording techniques that he had that?
We finished drums, and the next day he said, "Oh, we're going to do a day of percussion." I'm like, okay. And he has in his studio these boxes of like trinkety, sort of cheap percussion, like touristy souvenir percussions that castanets and shakers, and he kind of set up a condenser mic in the middle of the studio and tipped this box of percussion on the floor, and his control room is in the studio, so there's no sort of isolation, and so he just put his headphones on, and you'd hear this one chime or one shake.
Yep.
So I'm like, what's going on here? But yeah, so that was pretty interesting.
And the album is No Wonder the World is Exhausted. And lyrically, there are some issues on there like depression and homelessness, and also Indigenous issues, which you sing about. How fine is that line between singing about these subjects without sort of browbeating people?
So yeah, when I first started, I guess I've always sort of been one for human rights, but I noticed that when I was coming off too strong, you kind of shut out the people that need to hear it the most. To sort of turn their nose up before you've had a chance to say your piece. So I try and come at it from a different angle now and less confrontational.
Right.
And yeah, rather than try and beat down doors, just try and meet people peacefully. And it's, particularly on First Nations issues, it's hard. I'm not Indigenous, so I have no authority on the issues. It's not my place to speak for Aboriginal people, so I try and make sure that I'm coming from a respectful place as an ally rather than speaking for people.
Right. And the song which we're about to hear, Nothing Not Anymore, is one of those songs about First Nations people, if I understand correctly.
That's right, yeah.
What does that song mean to you, and what is it actually about?
So that's more about like a frustration of government left and right just not getting on with it. You know, it's nearly 30 years ago since Bob Hawke sort of hinted at treaty, and here we are. You know, it's still not really on the table. I believe that most of Australians are compassionate people, and I believe that, you know, that would be successfully, you know, we get it over the line. I just think the government need to make it part of their agenda and push it. Just stop mucking around and get it done.
Well, thanks once again for coming on, Ben.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
There'll be time to wake with memory and soak up what it was, to cover up the negative, to barricade and clog. There'll be time to wake with daylight and make up for the loss, the time it took to realize what dispossession was. If you ain't telling, then I won't ask about the dirt you stole to build your house of glass. But somewhere deeper in the ditches I saw counterfeit and riches. You ain't got nothing that I want anymore. And there'll be days you'd rather stay in bed than walk across the floor and fight with pride and politics to stretch your right and wrong. You'll brave the days that you could wake up and paint the savior that you could see, the one that walks behind your eyes, the one you wanna be. If you ain't telling, then I won't ask about the dirt you stole to build your house of glass. But somewhere deeper in the ditches I saw counterfeit. You ain't got nothing that I want anymore. Just do the work and get it done. A fool's errand, boy, you to lead a pure life and wrap it up inside a naked fire. And you got flies around your halo, stink that follows you around. Another day, another fight for rolling on the ground. In the end, just say whatever helps you get to sleep at night. I'll pray for all the wrongs you wrote to find their right. If you ain't telling, then I won't ask about the dirt you stole to build your house of glass. Somewhere deeper in the ditches I saw counterfeit riches. You ain't got nothing that I want anymore. Somewhere deeper in the ditches I saw counterfeit riches. You ain't got nothing